Hi everyone, it's Laura. Welcome to video number 32 in a series of 3,000. Now, Laura has not been feeling good the last couple of days. And I really wanted to do a video, but just the thought of spending an hour getting my makeup on and all that was just too much. So I thought, I'll hide. So I got this skin mask out. It's from this box. At the time I had won all the boxes on Instagram. And this is by far the slimiest mask I have ever used. It's really thick. It's got a white layer and a blue layer. And I wasn't really sure which side was supposed to go toward your skin. But there seemed to be more slime on the blue layer, so I put the blue layer toward my skin. And all the directions on this are in Korean, so I have no idea if I should leave this on for 10 minutes, half an hour, or what. Anyway, it'll be on for the duration of this video. Okay, now, I didn't really have a whole lot that I could think of to talk about today, so I thought I'd just tell you a little bit more about myself. Okay, I was born and raised in a very, very rural area, like surrounded by cows. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Like, there were no friends that I had within walking distance or anything like that. If I wanted to go over to a friend's house, I would have to get my dad to drive me, and I hated him and didn't want to talk to him, so stayed home a lot, stayed in my bedroom a lot. And then when I was 17, I moved to Charlottetown, the only city that we have on this small island, and went to university. And I was a pretty good student my first year. I was 17, and the drinking age here was 18. Since then it's turned to 19, but anyway, so I couldn't really drink the first year that I was at university. The second year at university, however, I was of age, and so I did a lot of partying and became a not so good of a student. So what I had planned was that this is the way it worked back then. If you wanted to be a nurse, you went to university, and then you went to nursing school after that. And nursing school was paid by our province. You didn't have to pay a cent to go to nursing school. So that's what I had planned. But anyway, university didn't go very well, so I'm not a nurse. I have two sisters, both younger than me. One's 2 years younger than me, one's 5 years younger than me. They are both nurses. One lives in North Carolina, and when I go to the States, that is where I stay, at her house, or sometimes at her daughter's house. Just depends. And so I now have an older brother too that's 2 years older than me. So of the four of us, I'm by far the least educated. But I worked hard most of my life. I got a job when I was probably 21 in a grocery store, and I worked my way up to a department manager's job there, and I worked there, I think, for 12 years. And yeah, it wasn't a great place to work either. It was really heavy work. Like, we cooked chickens, and a box of chickens was 70 pounds. And so I did that for 12 years, throwing around these 70-pound boxes of chickens, and I, at that time, weighed very little over 100 pounds myself. So it was very difficult work. And finally, I got to the point that my body was deteriorating. I was seeing a physiotherapist, and my physiotherapist was saying, you have to leave your job. You have to get a different job. You're not going to be able to walk by the time you're 40 with your knees if you do not quit that job. So I ended up working there for probably another year and a half before I quit. And I quit. I had another job lined up. I went to work at a call center because my husband was working at the call center and he was in management. So he got me a job, and I mostly worked at data entry, so I didn't have to talk to people on the phones, which was good because I can't really tolerate cranky people that much. When you work at a call center, almost every person that you talk to is cranky because they've had a billing mistake or whatever. They've been charged too much, so they're very pissed off. It was a really funny place to work. I worked there for, I think, 11 years. And then when I went off of work on disability, I had my disability pension that I paid into for years at the call center, and I had CPP, which is Canada Pension Plan Disability. So yeah, I was fairly lucky. I get those two pensions each month, and it works out to be the same amount of money as I was getting when I was working. And I will never be going back to work because my CIDP is just progressing. Like this year at Easter, I remember I burnt one of my fingers really bad because I couldn't feel the tips of my fingers. Well, now I'm all the way up to here. I can't feel my entire fingers. And it affects the muscles in those fingers too. So if I go to pinch something, see, I can show you this way. If I go to pinch something, my muscle just gives out on that finger. I can't hold the muscles to keep the joints bent. I can bend them like that, but to use them as muscles to hold anything, it's gone. So I'm still crocheting, but I have a crochet hook that's ginormous that I'm making blankets with right now because me and my family decided that this year was going to be, all of our presents had to be homemade. So I'm crocheting stuff, and I also have my bath bombs, and yeah, I have quite a few things made. And I have to send everything to my sister in North Carolina first because the mail takes the longest around Christmas time to get to there. So I like to have everything mailed before the 1st of December. That's going to North Carolina. And then if I go to North Carolina for the winter, it will be after Christmas here. I have gone before Christmas, but this year, to tell you the truth, I haven't even decided 100% whether I'm going this year or not, because the pain that I've been having in my feet for the past 10 years from the CIDP has always gotten really, really worse as the cold weather approaches. But this year, hasn't. I'm not in a great deal of pain at all, even though the floors are quite cold in the house and I'm not even wearing slippers yet. So if my feet don't get bad, I'm going to stay right here where I am. My hands might get bad instead and just see me sitting there with the TV on, crocheting with my mittens on. That's the plan anyway. And we did have a lot of unexpected expenses this year too. When Chloe was sick, it cost us over $3,000. And our TV broke and it cost us $1,000 for a new TV, and one of our recliners broke, so we just bought a new sofa, and that was over $1,000. It was $1,600, I think, and my root canal, which I haven't had done yet, is going to cost $1,500. So if I can get through without going to the States this year, that's what I'm going to do. My husband is actually leaving tomorrow. He's going to Montreal for 9 days for work, so I'm going to be here by myself. So, well, not by myself. I mean, we have a 2-bedroom apartment downstairs that my son and his wife live in. So, you know, if I were to fall and break my leg or something, I just have to call for one of them to come up. So, I'll be okay. This thing is still as wet as when I put it on. And normally what I do when I use a mask is I put it on, and then when it's almost dried out, I take it off and I massage the rest in. But yeah, like I say, this is still just soft and wet. So I'm not going to be able to show you how beautiful I look when this comes off. Okay, thanks a lot for joining me tonight, guys. I love you guys so much. It's you guys that keep me going. Live fearless. Look down below because my giveaway that I have going on right now is listed down there. And I have 3 other giveaways coming up that are group giveaways that I'm involved in. So yeah, there's 2 Christmas ones and one that's not Christmas. And I know it's all stuff that you guys are gonna love. So those will always be listed down below. Thanks for joining me. Bye.